Good morning, Zio here, and today I have great news. If you can tell, my camera's kind of sitting a little higher because I'm sitting higher because I have a new chair. That's right, no longer am I going to be in mid-recording when the thing decides it's going to give out and fling me backwards anymore. Hopefully. Anyway, so today we're talking about Activision, DMCA strikes, yada yada yada, leaks, Warzone, blah blah blah. So go ahead and grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? So Activision is getting what is the word? I guess backlash or something, complaints. People are talking about Activision right now. Why? Because they leaked this, which is nothing new, right? Activision, all these companies, someone somewhere leaks stuff, right? And then we get it and we talk about it. That's how it goes, right? So the first footage of the Call of Duty Warzone new 1980s map has leaked, and there was a video and all this other stuff. And yeah, well, and then things happened. So like always, Activision, Sony, Naughty Dog recently, let's see, who else? Square Enix, and several others have gone on these campaigns where they DMCA strike anything that talks about leaked anything, whether it shows leaked footage, leaked stuff like that. It doesn't matter who you are, they come in, they strike you, which, is an abuse of the DMCA system, in my opinion, right? The DMCA is the Digital Millennial Copyright Act, which is designed to protect people from having their copyright material, their stuff stolen, of course. When it comes to journalists, things get a little wonky and things. I guess you can say it's sort of gray because yes, it was leaked. Yes, you're talking about it. It's already out on the internet, and if we know anything about the internet, if it's on the internet, it's there forever. There is no scrubbing it. You can find it, and usually going after people like this is a bad mistake for these companies. Well, I guess you could say it's a bad mistake. Customers cease being customers when they see this sort of stuff happen, while, they also get a bunch of press, I guess you can say, because everybody's talking about that, and then people still buy the product regardless, so it's a win-win for Activision, I guess you can say. Sucks for everybody else, though. So we've got here on thin ice, if you're curious, with a tweet that's unavailable right now. But this is the tweet right here. Our tweet of the leaked Vendette's 1980s footage has been deleted due to a notice from Activision. What kind of a notice? Well, that's a copyright notice. And of course, we've got a continuing here regarding the Warzone video we shared earlier. Our intention was not malicious. We saw it being sent around in multiple Discord servers and thought it was already public. It is public, by the way. Sorry for Sorry for any negative effect for sharing the video. No, there was probably no real negative effect, and other than maybe if people didn't like the map for whatever reason. The big negative effect is Activision swinging their copyright hammer and DMCAing anyone talking or showing it. Once it is out in the wild, once it gets into places like, say, Discord, it's already on the internet. It is public at that point. But that's something for, unfortunately, lawyers to fight out, and I'm sure a really good lawyer could probably fight, in its, what is the word I'm looking for? Can fight really well or really good for why it's not a copyright infringement type thing when it's already been put out on the internet. If somebody does leak something, it's one thing to go after the person that leaks it. It's a completely different thing to go after the people who talk about said leak. I can understand if, say, they got the person who leaked it and they came after them illegally and all this other stuff and went after them hardcore, but then everybody else talking about it, on the other hand, should not be the target of these campaigns to completely shutter anyone's talking about the video, because now they're just going to talk about it more, right? They're going to get around it by not showing any of the stuff like we're doing right here. We're not going to actually show the thing. So if you do try to DMCA, it's like, no, I was purely talking about it. Of course, the only other issue at that point is we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company, and they having lawyers that can do anything that pretty much crushes anything somebody like me can actually do, right? But anyway, let us continue. Here comes Activision removing our legitimate coverage of their leaks from Twitter. I've never received a DMCA from other gaming companies, and now I've suddenly started hiccuping because why not? But your account's been locked because Twitter received a complaint, a DMCA notice for copyright content, or for content posted to your Twitter account. Under the DMCA, copyright owners can notify Twitter claiming that a user has infringed on their copyright, which, is a thing. If you didn't know, it happens on YouTube, happens on Facebook, happens on Twitter. Gosh, I can't remember what we're talking about right now, right? Twitter. I'm not sure where Fruit Labs is actually based at, but I'm assuming that it also falls under the jurisdiction of DMCA. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me down in the comments, because I actually have no idea where Lab is actually, set up at. Now that I think about it, I should look into that. But, if you did something that was infringing on somebody's copyright, they can come in and try and shut it down. There's needs to be some things done about this system, because anybody can essentially copyright claim anything. They just have to say, hey, I'm so-and-so, without proving that they're so-and-so. This is infringing on our rights, or our DMC, or, our copyright rights, and then they can do a DMCA on anything at that point in time. And there needs to be a new system in place where that doesn't exactly happen, where, maybe they've got to prove exactly where something is being infringed, how it's being infringed. But the way the current law is written, all somebody has to do is come up and say, hey, this is infringing on our copyright, take it down, and then sites have to comply. So yeah, that's a thing. But anyway, your account has been locked because Twitter received a complaint. Isn't this the exact same thing? Okay, yeah, this is two different spots. Okay, personal account and then the company account. Anyway, so yeah, that happened. Anyway, so what we're going to look at right now is my YouTube, because this is not the first time we've talked about this, right? This might be the first time on the labs we've actually talked about it, because I wasn't a member of the labs until I guess a few months or so ago now at this point. But we've talked about this in the past, whereas an Activision DMCAs and subpoenas Reddit over Warzone leaks. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. This is not the first time Activision has done this sort of thing at all. And they're not the only company that's doing this. I've seen some other people talk about this, and they're like, how long does it take for somebody else like Sony to start doing things like this, or Microsoft and all this other stuff? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news when it comes to that, but they've already done it. Seriously, Sony and Naughty Dog waged a campaign against anyone talking about the Last of Us 2 leaks. So that happened. Square Enix has been doing this for various reasons as well. I mean, they straight up DMCA'd an entire channel into the ground, all because they were Let's Playing Trials of Mana, the newer version of it, right? The HD whatever remake of Trials of Mana. They completely shuttered that entire channel over this. And their reasoning for it was, which is another thing to bring up in conversation, because I think this is dumb. They don't want it to be spoiled for people. Look, if you're going to go and watch a Trials of Mana Let's Play, or a Final Fantasy VII Remake Let's Play, or something like that, you're there to be freaking spoiled at that point. I'm sorry, Square, but that's the purpose. You can't get the chance to play it, or you just want to see somebody else play it because you've already played it, or whatever the reason is. You want to know what happens and stuff. DMCAing it, I think, is BS. I mean, it's within the law, but at the same time, completely BS. And then, of course, there was the time I got DMCA'd by the Persona team for talking about their thing, so I had to re-upload that. But yeah, Activision did start DMCAing people about Warzone's initial leaks, so that also happened. But yeah, DMCA is a problem. It needs to be fixed, rectified. Something needs to be done with it, because with the way a lot of the rules are set up on a lot of these places, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, BitChute, whatever. Well, actually, I'm not sure about BitChute's policy on this. I need to really look into it. BitChute, I'm sorry, Fruit Labs is what I'm talking about. But yeah. It needs something done, because it's like you get a DMCA, you get multiple DMCAs, and it doesn't take much, and you can lose everything you've worked on for years at this point in time. And something needs to be done to really prove it, because at the same time, a lot of these people who do this stuff and talk about these things don't have the means to prove it, or the means to fight it, I guess you can say, in court, which is a problem. But anyway, small rant over. That's what I've got to say about that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.